Hi folks, thank you for watching again, and obviously it's the 31st of the 12th, 3:19 in the morning. I'm working nights as I do. I'd just say a early Happy New Year to you all, and obviously I've got some new decodes or some follow-up decodes as well for Solomon. So if I get on with it, the first thing we're going to look at. Right, in the Old Testament, I've realised that when a word is repeated, a sort of random word that almost doesn't fit the sentence, that these generally or usually are codes. The word today I'm going to use is compass. Just so you see how this goes, this is mentioned in Psalms 9 times. Well, 9 is the 9th tribe Siluri, so that tells me, and Psalms is actually an anagram of L's maps. So there's usually some sort of overlaid code in these words. Right, okay. Now, first thing I've got a lot more of these to show you, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the star constellation that actually fits with this whole code. It's a bit of an odd one because it's called Microscopium, and it's known as the compass. Well, it's a bit of an it's a bit of an odd combination unless you're aware of what this actually means. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is what does it relate to in the Bible, in the Old Testament? Notable as well in the book of Job, or the Job, in 16:13. It also says, "His archers compass me about." Well, the two of the pretty much the main maps two maps I've done. The big map has the bow of Sagittarius in there. Again, I'll go into that in detail, or the battle bow of Zechariah. And it also has Orion's bow that is made up actually of locations around Jerusalem. So first thing we're going to do is work out what we're looking through who's looking through the microscope, and what compass is he looking at. Well, if you look at Caerwent, or Caerwent, the Roman name the name now is Caerwent. The Roman name was Ventisilurum. Its real name is Jerusalem. Okay, you'll have to look back on my previous decodes if you want to see that all pans out. Okay, so the first thing to note is that the city itself is square, and it has an east wall and gate, a north gate, a west gate, and a south gate. I do it like this because I actually live here on the east wall, so I'm sort of doing as if I'm at home, which I'm not at the moment, obviously. But basically you can see that this is, in fact, your compass. Okay. Now, if you're looking down from heaven above, where Yar is, obviously he's looking down and he can see it, and it's like obviously he's looking into it, like looking down, and obviously this would be the compass that he could see, because it does actually line up east, north, south, west. Okay, interestingly enough as well, the east, north, south, west makes news, so here's some news for you. Okay, right. It says my enemies compass me about. Well, the news is the media. I'll say nothing on that, but that's probably so relevant for today. Okay, taking this further. Okay, so we know that the microscopian compass star constellation relates to Yah looking down, and you can see his fort, this Jerusalem, and it's obviously laid out as a compass. Okay. Now we're going to go on to, I've obviously started doing some of the Solomon's symbology decodes, but I'm going to take this a little further. We get the right. Okay, so coming down, we've got, I'll run through it again, but we've got the sun, the moon sign in Cancer, uses the maps, basically, the map of the one side of the globe and the stars on the other. But in the middle, we have the very famous mystical compass. And set square with a great big G in the middle, which is supposed to stand for geometry or something, but they're not going to tell you what it really stands for because they don't want you to know. However, right, the first thing to know, obviously we got our fort itself is a compass. So there's your compass, that's part of the meaning of the compass, but a compass also makes arcs. Okay, so that will give you an arc. There you have the set square, which this fort is, set square, and this gives you angles. So with a little, well, with a minor bit of play, you've got basically the set square fort of the archangel or archangels. Obviously, we just rearrange that and we get the archangels. So how do the archangels fit into this? Right, I did this on my first very long Zoom meeting video, but I missed a pretty important part. Well, an incredible part. Okay, so let's go with, so we've got firstly the name of the fort, or the city. Jerusalem. Okay, now the arc, what we look at the archangels, so we've got Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and we've got Michael. Okay, and in the middle we've got a Silu. A Silu being a Siluri or a singular Siluri, so it's an individual, one person Silu. Well, who's that person? Okay, the next thing we do is we go with the Holy City. Now, the Holy City, sorry, the Holy Land. Well, if you are from Britain or the UK, you'll know that Gymru is the name, or a Welsh name given for Wales. It's now, as you come across from England into Wales, every sign says Crossio Gymru, Crossio Gymru, meaning welcome to Wales. But obviously it's spelled with a G. Now, everywhere else, for some reason, it's been softened to a C, and people know it as Cymru. I would suggest that the real name for it is, in fact, Gymru. Okay, and the Welsh word for Wales. Okay, so we've got Gabriel. Now look, hang on, let's put these in first. Then we've got Michael. Then we've got Raphael. And then we've got Uriel. Okay, so the Y is basically the creator. Again, I'll come to the spelling of the name spelling, but the way is the U's. These are U's, not J-E-W's. Better be careful what I say, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but they're not J-E-W's, they're U's. They usually follow the way, written in the river W-Y-E, the river Y. It feeds from the Sabbath River, the Severn, which is Severn Estuaries and anagrams say never true. So clearly it was originally the Sabbath River. Okay, so we've got the country. This is the Holy Land. Okay, now in the Holy Land, incredibly, sorry, let's start that again. In Gymru, this is where we find the name of the Silu, which amazingly is Mr. Guy. Obviously, my surname is Guy. I'm Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy, the Silu, in the Holy City, in the Holy Land. Okay, so this is the archangels, well, the creator and the archangels, but the creator and the archangels and the code, and this is how it all fits into the Solomon symbology, or the Masonic symbology. Okay, obviously the microscopium compass is where Yahweh is obviously looking down through the dome, through the firmament, the dome, and he's like looking through a microscope, and he can see that the fort of Jerusalem in the shape of the compass has been set square with the north, south, east, west on it. Okay. No coincidence. Or if it is, I'm a master of them by now. Okay, so moving on. Now, the last time on the first Solomon video, I did most of this, but I missed one pretty important one, very important part really. And also, I've got a little add-on to it as well, which was prompted me, but I'll explain now. So on the Solomon, on Masonic symbology, you get the sun, pretty poor drawing, but with a face on it. You get the moon, sometimes that has a face on it as well. I'll do as I did last time. Then we get the earth on one side of the pillar and the stars on the other side of the pillar. Well, as I've shown you, I just showed you microscopium. There's a lot more. For example, Eridanus, the river, is actually ID near us, the river. Well, that would be the river Sabbath. So that was coded along with tons of others. However, right, so these are your Masonic pillars. You've also got a Masonic arch, which they don't show on a lot of them, although I have seen it. And then you've got the keystone. Well, I know where the keystone is. The keystone is a keystone fort. Okay, and on that keystone, you've got the symbol for Cancer being the 6. Well, there's your Cancer the crab. So you've got Son of the Moon sign in Cancer. Cancer is a moon sign. I'm born in Cancer, so basically meant to decode this. Turn that, put your fingers in, turn it around, palms up, give up with sins. Down come the Psalms, or the L's maps, which is Angels maps, or Welsh maps, both actually, but you can use it as the Welsh. Sorry, it'll be Angels maps, but L's being Welsh. Okay, so we've got the 6 and the 9. So there's your son of the moon sign, born in Cancer, turns up, puts his palms, but when he turns it up, we get a 6 and a 9. 6 is the tribe of Gad, and 9 is Simeon. Well, the decode for Simeon, when I decoded the 10 lost tribes of his rule, is little me in Sion. Obviously, I've explained with the Sion being the G in the snare, the Jin in the snare. Okay, so the 9th tribe, me in Sion, being the Sion, Jin in the snare, so I'm sat inside Jerusalem, and my tribe is the Siluris. So what it does is actually gives me a divine identification, as I'll show you now, which is partly why I've sort of. Oh, hang on, Simeon, there's no way on the end of Simeon. There we go. Simeon. Okay, so right there, this is where it gets really crazy, because, and this is not, I've got so many more of these, it's untrue, so this is not coincidence, I can assure you. But we've got G add Simeon, we've also got the G in the set square, which tells you it's the, that's a mess, but the archangels, and I've showed you that. The archangels in the set square. You've got the arc at the bottom of Cancer also, the constellation Cancer, which is, again, these are all symbolised here. Also tell you where this the Ark of the Covenant sits, and I've already identified that in the previous video. Right, the seventh hand, right, the 7 stars. Okay, there are, as well, usually around the moon in this case, but not always. But you'll always, or you usually find on their symbology, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 stars, which are the 7 sisters, or they're known as the Pleiades. Well, amazingly enough, Pleiades is an anagram of please ID. Okay, so they want me to basically, de-identify that me in Sion, the Siluri or the Israel, is the son of the moon sign in Cancer. Does the decodes via maps. Obviously there's a lot more to it with the tetragrammaton. If you haven't seen that video, watch that one. And using the stars as well. The 6 and the 9, G-add, there's the G-added, and G-add Simeon. Right, now to add Simeon, right, this is where it gets really amazing and bizarre. I don't know what the word is. Right. So where have we got a ID Simeon? Well, right. I'll do this in the order they go down. Obviously, I didn't get them in this order. I had to work back up effectively. But where we start on St. David's Head, or St. David's the city. Well, we know that David is a divine ID. Where the ID divine, as in the first video I did. So a divine identification, okay. This line runs down, well, I'll tell you where it takes you to, which is quite remarkable. Now, given that you've seen my decode for the Siluris and the tribe of Simeon. Sorry, first way, on the way down, let's do it that way actually. On the way down, this line runs down, and just to the right of the line is a place called Tenby in Wales. Well, the code for this is by 10. Now this is where it gets incredible, because by 10 is in fact 9, so we're looking for a 9. Okay, Tenby. So next then, on the coast it crosses and it comes to Minehead. Just the other side of the river across from Wales in England is Minehead. Well, this is the Minehead, the Miner's Lamp Head, or the Holy Head of Anglesey. If you look at the Holy Head, Wales, I'll get into more detail with this, but you've got the Holy, basically a representation of a head, clearly, with what looks a piece coming off it, basically. Well, this is actually a light. It's not, even though it's not a literal miner's lamp, it's a light to light down to show the danger coming, which is all written in Forteventura, our future event, the canary singing, and all a map, the Palmer. But without jumping into too much detail, let's just stick with this. So we follow the line down, and where does this hit? It actually hits, incredibly, a place called in the outskirts of Rome. Marco, just get this right. Simone. Obviously, Simone is just Simeon. It's just jumbled up Simeon. So if we take the words down, we get Simeon. Well, Simeon is me in Sion again, being a Siluri. So what's the chances? Or being the Silu, what's the chances of having my name, the tribe that I represent, the decode of it within it, and everything that goes with it? 10b by 10 is 9, it's the 9th tribe. The 9th tribe is Simeon. Absolutely no way is this all coincidence. So, but anyway, regardless, and this is not an ego trip. I don't want people to think, I never expected it in a million years that this was ever gonna happen. And I still kick myself every day and well, I know it's possible because it's there, and all these codes, and no matter what I do, they keep coming back to the same conclusion, and it all leads back to me in Jerusalem and the tribe of the Silures. But obviously the whole aim of this is by proving that all this was laid out. Obviously I couldn't put it there, and nor could anyone else, and none of this comes from books. It's just purely from code, and the only place it can come from is either me being, making it fit, which I suggest is impossible. Well, it is impossible. I'm not even, I'm not, no way clever enough to do this. But and to have it, it all falls into place, everything connects. But understand, well, just come into my head now. See, this is the tetragrammaton at work. Okay, it's telling me, right, okay, this is the word of the place. Right, okay, in Italy, in Florence. Now, bear in mind, you've also got a St. Florence in Wales near Tenby. Okay, so you've got your Florence. Okay, now in Florence is San Marco. Okay, now it's telling me, okay, now it's right, okay, then we're going to jump across the other side of the world to Jacksonville, Florida. Well, Union Jackson, son of the Union Jack, which I am in theory, even though I'm not proud of that at all, but son of the High Jack of Zion, effectively. Again, there's more decodes of that, it's in my first video. But you've got another San Marco. Incredibly. Now, I think they're trying to tell me something. San, it being short for saint. I don't get it, but that's what it is. Now, what I'm being told, or what I'm being given, is to point out right here and now, on saying what I've just said, is San Diego. Okay, and this is telling you that it's San, but it's saying ID-ego. Well, I'm IDing it because I'm just telling you that this San Diego, call I for Naya. Call I for Naya. Right, okay. Right, ID-ego. I'm telling you, this is not my ego. These places just exist and they're there. Again, right, I've been pointing Marco Island, you've got the Florida Keys, the Crane Key, the Alphabet Key. This is not my work, basically. This is the work of the creator of all things, Yahweh. There's so much more than this. Okay, so, okay. Right, okay. Sacramento, Santa Marco. Incredible. Marco Island, obviously we've got these names just crop. My name, this name, but it was unusual. There's not of all the places in the world, there just doesn't seem to be San David or San anything else. They just all seem to point to San Marco or a message, San Diego. I don't know, just putting it out there, but I'm IDing that this is definitely not ego. This is just where we go. ID-ego. Yeah, this is where it takes me. I hope this all makes sense, and I just hope you'll all understand that the Creator really is real. This is not a coincidence, and I'll have more for you in 2022. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope this enlightened you.